Thank you so much for joining us this evening. This is Rosalee Henry, and my show is Chat Bout. And I am so excited to be here. So, I'm a postpartum doula and a newborn care educator who is now branded as a seven-figure doula whisperer. And I will be here with you every week to share, just my experience as an entrepreneur, my entrepreneur journey, how I has evolved in the community and maternal health industry, and just to empower others who are in this space, because I know sometimes being an entrepreneur, it can be very lonely, and I just want to give back to my community and empower others to not give up. This is such a passion-led field, and I, like I said, just want to empower you. This is such a needed service. Right now, the maternal mortality rate is so high, and it's Georgia is one of the highest. And how can we be of an impact? How can we help? We have to put our hands and heart and money together, to help to cut down on this rate. Also have Mr. Bissell here with me, my husband, who is in the financial industry, and he's going to talk a little bit about finances, and as an entrepreneur, how do we plan for that period of time when we're no longer working. As an entrepreneur, a lot of us, we don't have a 401k. We don't have things through our jobs, so we have to make sure that we are securing not only for ourselves, but for our kids and families that we're going to be leaving behind, because we're all going to die. That's one thing that's sure. We're all going to die, so we have to make sure for that. I'm also going to be having a great friend of mine who's going to join me, Dr. Michele. She's a data analyst, and she's going to talk about the maternal mortality rate, where we are, and how we can help as a community to make sure, because it is so high amongst us, our Black and brown community. So how can we help? But the numbers are there. The numbers don't lie. So, she's going to come on and talk about that soon. So, Mr. Bizzell, do you have anything to share at the moment before we bring on Dr. Michele, who's going to be coming on soon, joining us soon and soon?
Just wanted to take a few minutes, since you had mentioned earlier about entrepreneurship and the fact that they really need to look into their financial future. Just briefly, I wanted to share, there is something that is a little bit better than the standard 401k. It's called a 770 plan. Now, a lot of people really have not heard about that. A lot of people don't understand how it works. And that's one of the things that I bring to the table, is I talk to people and show them how they can put these 770 plans in place. One, to help not only prepare for, as you say, the time when we all have to leave this planet, but it also prepares them financially for their future while they're still here. We can also help with family planning, as far as making sure that instead of you worrying about putting this money away, when it comes time for you to get your hands on it, not only do you have to go through all these hoops to get it, you have to worry about taxation, you have to worry about other fees. There are ways of getting this money to grow for you completely tax-free, and also accessing it tax-free. And those are the kind of things that I like to talk to entrepreneurs and other, even working class people about, because that kind of information we're not taught on a regular basis. That kind of information a lot of people don't know about. And so while you're sitting here stressing out, wondering, I have to wait until I'm 59 and a half. Once I get my hands on the money, now they're going to tax me at a higher tax bracket. All of that really can be bypassed if you learn about these plans that I have information on, and I will drop a link in the chat so that you can get some free information from me about it, and then maybe we can set a time for us to actually go into detail. Also, I want to let people know that you really have to start thinking about insurance in a whole different way. Insurance is not just a death plan. It is a way for you to make sure that your family is taken care of once you are gone. There are plans available so that you can prepare for your child's education. There are ways that you can use it so that if something were to happen to you, say a critical accident, chronic illness, and things of that nature, where you need the money now while you're still alive and can enjoy it, there are ways of putting those kinds of things together. So that's what I like to talk to people about. That's what I like to show people, how it can be done, because again, most of us have this connotation that life insurance is only for when you drop dead, somebody else has left the money.
Yeah.
No, it doesn't have to be that way. You can use it so that while you're still alive and while you're 100% healthy, you can take advantage of that money and enjoy it and use it for yourself. You can also take advantage and prepare your child so that they don't have to deal with college loans. They're not worrying about scholarships or anything else because the money is already there for them to use. So again, these are the kind of things that I like to educate people on. These are the things that I want to talk to people about. And as I said, I will be dropping a link in the chat for you to get in touch with me so that we can go into detail about it. Thank you.
You're welcome. So based on what you're saying, we should start looking at insurance as an investment more than, for when we die. It's not just for burial.
Yeah, it's way more than burial. For decades, years, affluent people have been using it to their advantage, again, because you can access funds completely tax-free.
Okay.
There's nothing that can be done about it. You can also avoid probate, which I'm sure some people on this panel, as well as out in the public, have had to deal with. Probate can be completely bypassed. So those are the kind of things that people really need to know about. And I'm ready to talk to you. I'm ready to show you how it can be done, how the regular, everyday working person can do it, as well as entrepreneurs, people who have money but need a better place to have that money work for you.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for the information, Mr. Bizel. And I've seen where families end up in probate, and it takes like such a hard time.
6 months to 7 years is the new calendar for probate now.
Right.
It doesn't start for 6 months to 7 years, and it can
take that long.
Up to that long to get out of it.
So, instead of going through that grieving process and, just healing from having someone pass away, now you have to deal with the whole idea of having, a probate court and cost, and, the grieving process just takes so much longer because now you have to, deal with that instead of just like moving on with your life, so to speak.
Exactly.
Thank you so much for that. So we're waiting for to bring on Dr. Michele, but at the same, in the meanwhile, I just want to touch on a very important thing that I always share, and it really helped me in my business, and that was mentorship. Just having someone to help you when you are an entrepreneur to go through that process. It's like they already have gone through it. So now they can teach you about the things that you're not supposed to do, the things that work in their business, so you don't have to now reinvent the wheel. So that is my new goal. I start my mentorship program. I've been doing it for a while, and I've helped so many people, in this industry to grow and scale their business. Because, like I said, it can be very lonesome. It can be very costly time and doing things that you make so many mistakes because you don't know what to do. But having that mentor there with you, somebody that's gone through it, has been really, really impactful in my business, in my life. And I know sharing that with others. I find that mentorship helps with skill development. It helps builds your confidence, because when you have someone there with you who is going to hold your hand to go through it, you're going to be much more confident. And also in return, I'm hoping that whenever you've gone through mentorship, you're going to go back now and be role model back into the community. So you're helping the community to be an impact back on your local economy. In this industry, a lot of people can't even afford, to have a postpartum doula or newborn care specialist, but they can afford the information. So if you have a mentor who is going to help you to be more knowledgeable, and you can now take that back into the community, I find that to be so impactful. I just want to talk a little bit more about mentorship. I just want to share that mentorship is more than just guidance. It's a transformative relationship that provides practical advice, emotional support, and invaluable industry insights. For women in the maternal health sectors where business and healthcare intersect, mentorship can be a key to unlocking potential and insurance success. Like I said, I had mentors when I first started, and it has really, really helped. It has really, really helped my business. It has really helped my confidence. And I'm just in the space now that I really want to give back because I've seen the benefit of having a mentor. It has, like I said, it has really, 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 really build my confidence. It also having mentors. It really helped to build the economy because we are giving back. We're doing it in a way where we're not reinventing the wheel. We are having the blueprint already there, so you can just pick up the baton and get on. And I just want to welcome Dr. Michele. She is joining us now, and I am so excited to have you, Dr. Michele. I know you're going to be talking a lot about, the data. Dr. Michele, can you hear me?
You're muted.
You're
muted, Dr. Michele.
You are muted. She's trying to mute. So in the meanwhile, I'll go ahead and read her bio. Dr. Michele is from Raleigh, North Carolina. She holds a master in statistics and a PhD in epidemiology. She began her career as a high school math teacher where she excelled in breaking down complex topics like data into understandable concepts for everyone, which would pay as she embarks in the entrepreneurship. Inspired by her 10 years in academic and corporate America, Dr. Michele wants to do for small businesses and nonprofit what she has done within the public health sector. So we really, really thank you for that because I know you see what you've done in the public health sector. We also need it as small business. So we really appreciate you transitioning over into that. She's committed to leveraging data to optimize and scale organization, reflecting her belief that data is a vital tool for growth and success. Currently, she lives in Columbia, South Carolina, loves to sing, dance, and automate systems. So she's another techie person, Anisha was on last week. I'm not a techie person, so they help me a lot. They help me to balance. So welcome, Dr. Michele. Nice seeing you. We're not hearing you. Yeah.
Hold on, Dr. Michele. We're having a little bit of technical issues. We're trying to get your volume up. Hold on just a moment. Can you hear us? Just nod and let me know. Okay.
Yes, I can hear you. I know Dr. Michele is going to talk, she's going to talk about, postpartum anxiety. She's a numbers person, so she's going to definitely show us the numbers. Like I said, numbers doesn't lie. And, I really appreciate it of you. Huh?
Okay.
So we're having a little bit of technical difficulty, but we'll get it sorted out. In the meanwhile, I'll continue and talk about, my mentorship journey and how I am giving back into the community to help to make an impact, not only on my community, but also not only on the parents or the families that we impact, but also on others who are actually going out into the field to work to make this a sustainable business. Because I cannot say enough about this field being such a passion-led field, and we should not have to work two jobs to maintain our family lifestyle. We shouldn't have to work two jobs, leave our families behind to go care for other families. So how can we make this sustainable for the people who are actually going out into the field? And that is where my mentorship comes in, because I've gone through it. I've been blessed to have a sustainable business. So now I share back. Yes, we can hear you.
Yes.
So thank you, Dr. Michele. Welcome. Nice seeing you and nice having you. So can you please share for me, like how you got into this role, how you went from, numbers to now being, helping in the maternal community and just being in this space and want to give back, because like I said, the numbers doesn't lie, and it is just mind blowing and devastating seeing these numbers for the maternal, and infant mortality rate and morbid mortality rate. So can you share with us and just give us some numbers as to, what you're seeing and how we can help, as a postpartum doula, as a birth worker in the maternal and community health industry.
Yeah, so I started out in public health,
Yeah.
and I mean, I was interested in things that impact my community. When I say that, I mean African American community.
Yeah.
And it seems like, when you put that hat on in the epidemiology world and public health world, it seems like our women, our men, our children are affected by, I mean, almost anything.
Mm-hmm.
And so, maternal health is no different from, chronic conditions that we see that affect our communities even greater than others.
Yes.
And so I don't know, I've always taken a liking and an interest in maternal health. I remember doing like a project on breastfeeding. So if anything that's going to empower my community, I'm all for it. And so that's kind of how I got introduced to maternal health, was through my epidemiology program. And so now as a data scientist, I look at a lot of different types of data. I work in the health insurance area, so we look at tons of stuff. More recently, we're looking at infant mortality, and I'm looking at infant mortality rates, and not surprisingly, but unfortunately, our children, Black children, are dying. I think the rate is like 10 or 11 per 1,000 for live birth, compared to about 4 to white and Hispanic children. So it's a problem, and unfortunately, it's getting worse more than better. So I'm all in. However, I can use my voice, my influence, my skills and ability to get the word out and to even change what we're seeing. I'm all for it.
My voice is gone.
She stopped
Yeah.
talking.
She started talking.
No, she's okay. I think I've seen it delayed.
Yes.
Well, thank you. Yeah.
Yeah, I cannot hear you.
Yeah.
Can you hear me now? Okay, she's not hearing us.
She should be over here.
Okay, what about now? Are you hearing us now?
Okay, she's
There we
here.
go.
Yeah, she's
Okay.
here. Yeah, it's so alarming for, just to see where things are right now in 2024 and how much it affects us, like you said, the black and brown community. As a black woman, we are, 3 times likely to die during childbirth than our white counterpart. And it doesn't matter the education level, it doesn't matter the economic level. It is just like, crazy. And I am just so happy to be in this space where I am empowering other women to join hands to make this better. But at the same time, it is still so alarming as to what we are being paid, and when we ask to be paid better, the pushback we're getting. Because sometimes people think that having a postpartum doula or a newborn care specialist is luxury. It is not luxury. It is necessity, and it is so needed. So, Dr. Michele, what can you share with our audience, with our community, for people to see that this is a needed service compared to other countries? I know, I just finished my training with Morehouse School of Medicine on the maternal health navigation program, and one of the things that we talked about was the culture in different countries. And in Morocco, a mom, after giving birth, would be celebrated and cared for 40 days. She would not have to do anything. It was so alarming in the group that you and I are in TSP. I saw a mom post today. I need to go back and respond to it. And she was asking, how do others manage as an entrepreneur and having a newborn baby? That shouldn't even something that she should even have to be worried about. And another mom responded and said that while she was in the hospital, she actually had her laptop in the hospital and was working. It's just so alarming.
That's a good point. Here in the United States, the culture is a lot different. Then I think I want to compare us to other countries where family is central.
Yes.
And here in the United States, family has been decentered, whether it's in intentional or not. You know, you have children that don't live near their parents, or they went for college, jobs.
Right.
We have people that family structure is not there as much, so the support system is not there like it is in other countries. Then on top of that, it's like, I don't know what it is, but especially unfortunately in the Black community, like we wear poverty like a badge of honor many times, and we shun people when they do things that does not reflect poverty. For example, if you say, oh yeah, I'm gonna get a house cleaner. Why are you getting a house cleaner? You can do that yourself. Oh yeah, I'm gonna get someone to help me around the house with the children. You should be able to do that on your own. And so there's this interesting dynamic where it's like paying for help is looked down upon as if, you know, like we all need help sometimes. And the data on, you know, postpartum and then infant mortality, those two things running in tandem, it's not good. Like, so trying to carry the burden alone, whether I mean, if you're a single parent, it's even worse. Yes. Because who is there to help you? You don't even have that. So it's just so unfortunate how the support system isn't there like that in other countries here in the United States. And it's also unfortunate that when opportunities to receive help and to get help come, is looked down upon as opposed to welcomed, because it's very much needed.
That is so true. And the thing, one of the things that I also, you know, push and try and always push is postpartum preparedness, because a lot of time, especially for us in our community, we plan for we have this big hoopla about the baby shower. We have this big thing about the gender reveal, but no plan for what happened after you go home. And that's when, a lot of times, that's when tragedy happens. You know, because you don't have someone there who is trained, who know what to look for. So, you know, you may be there, you know, high blood pressure, and you have no idea. You might just thinking like, oh my God, I'm just not feeling well, and you go lay down. But having someone who is trained, who is there with you to see the signs, and to have the resource and the knowledge, you know, who to refer you to, you know, it definitely can save your life. Is over the years, most of the clients, you know, I've worked for, have bought the service for their friends, or they tell their friends about it. And I remember a family that I worked for, African American family. She actually met me in the lobby because she did not want other family members to know that she was getting help.
Oh my goodness.
She met me in the lobby. Her uncle was visiting, and she did not want him to know that she was getting help, because it was a stigma like, okay, now that, you know, you have money, you can take care of your own child. Not knowing that, okay, I know I have money that I can pay someone to help me, for me to be safe. Yeah. Now I have money, I can pay someone to help me to get the knowledge that I need so I can be a better mom for this child. Mm-hmm. You know, a better niece, a better person. I've had clients, you know, before who told me, you know, they're just so sleep deprived, they have no idea. They don't know what to do. They would pay anything to just have help. So that's the thing that, you know, we have to change. We have to educate our community. This is not a luxury. This is something that you should be planning for, just the same way you plan for the baby shower, just the same way you plan for the gender reveal. You know, you don't need a lot of stuff. You need help, and be open to accepting help. If somebody asks, how can I help you? Instead of asking for an expensive stroller or expensive designer bag, have them pay for somebody to come in and help you.
I love that. That's awesome. And I want to point out that the postpartum period is so critical for both mother and baby. And I'm sure you say this all the time, Rosalee.
Yes.
And you say that too, that's it's a quote from the World Health Organization that, let me read it directly so that way I don't misquote it, because it's such a good one that I'm like, people have to understand that this is real. Mm-hmm. So it says, women and newborns require support and careful monitoring after birth. Mm-hmm. Most maternal and infant deaths occur in the first 6 weeks after delivery.
Yes.
Yet this remains the most neglected phase in the provision of quality maternal and newborn care. And so while we're so concerned or trying to ridicule mothers or families for getting the help they need, they're dying.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like the neonatal kid, like that first 4 weeks, like children and mothers and families should be able to get the support they need not just want, but need,
Right.
without fear of how it. Because I'm like, well, if something happens to you or that baby, they can't bring any of you back. But you know what I mean? So it's just it does my heart sad to hear that, and I hear it in my own personal circle. So this is not something that I'm just hearing off the internet.
Right.
Like whenever people are looking for help, need help, and admit they need help, I mean, just like think about how therapy now is becoming okay in our community. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So we really do have to normalize getting the help that we need, whether it's therapy, whether it's postpartum care, whether it's, you know, pregnancy, like while you're pregnant care, while you're getting a job, like we need help. And it's okay to not have all the answers.
Yeah. That is so true. It is so sad, and it just hurt my heart to even think about it, because a lot, especially in our communities, a lot of moms, the first time they see a doctor is when they're going in to be delivered. So they have no prenatal care, right? And for real, no prenatal care. So you think about the impact that is going to have not only on that family, but also it triples into the community, because if she's not able, no, because of, it could be a lot of different things, no insurance, or even, no transportation. Her living arrangement may be in a situation, or sometimes she's so set on having to work that she can't even find the time to take off to even go to the doctor. So what ripple effect is that going to have on that family, on the community, on the state, on the country? So how can we, step in and, and help? So that's the reason why, I'm just trying to create this community, this initiative where we have the resource, and we have the help, and we have the know-how, how to reach these families, or to reach these moms, because we are the ones who are suffering. We are the ones who are suffering.
We are.
So just,
childbirth in itself is dangerous. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like a child, it's a miracle that a child even makes it into this world. Mm-hmm. Like, I don't think people understand that. Like, so the child may or may not make it in this world. Like, it's so much that happens in the creation of life. And then you have a person, a woman that has to carry this child and make it out alive too.
Yes.
Like, it's so much that happens between the two of them. So it's like the fact that they both make it out alive is a miracle.
Yes.
And we just discard them. But I mean, that's like anything in the United States. Like how we, and not the United States, the world. How the world treats one thing is how we treat anything. And someone said this quote not too long ago, and it's making so much more sense even now. They said the reason why the field of education is so low paying because of predominantly woman-led field. Mm-hmm. Because women are not looked at as valuable as men. And people can argue that, but I'm like, it's so many things, so much data to point to that. It's true, whether it's a low-paying wage, you're doing the same job, having the same opportunity, same education, a man gets paid more. We don't pay attention to women's pain. She says, I'm in pain. No, you're not. It's in your head.
Exactly.
So what we're seeing is really just a manifestation of what we see in multiple areas. It's just that the stakes are higher over here when it's time for a woman to give birth.
And you touch on the pay, disparity. I mean, in sports, look at sports. You have women playing in basketball, men playing basketball. Who gets more? The sponsorship, they get more endorsement. So it's like right across the board. But just to touch back again on the postnatal care. After this, first they're leaving the hospitals now earlier than before, right? You're in the hospital. No, you have the babies in the room with you because baby friendly hospital, which I'm all for that. I believe in bonding and doing skin to skin and all this. So you're going home tired. Then you're going home having no help. Then you're going home, you may already have other kids at home that you have to care for. They're not looking at you like, okay, mommy, come home with this new baby. I'm going to be self-sufficient. No, you still have to play that role. And then if you are in the working class, you're looking at going back to work in, a couple of months.
Yeah, so a couple of weeks.
Couple of weeks. So your body don't even have the time to heal. So now, what if you have a traumatic birth?
Yeah.
So you're going back to work, with all these psychological, feelings going in, having to leave your baby behind. Sometimes you have to leave your child behind to go care for somebody else's child. So it's just
Yeah.
like a ripple effect. Then
And you know
postpartum.
what?
Go ahead.
I wanted to just comment about that, how you said how women have to go back to work. It wasn't until just maybe the last year or two when some states had the option to extend Medicaid to women up until 12 months postpartum. So before, I think it was like the first 30 or 60 days, it was something very quick. Where after, like, if a woman can have Medicaid, this is like state/federal health insurance program. So the woman can have no insurance. So she gets pregnant, she can now, get insurance. Her child can stay insured. But before it was like 30 to 60 days, or maybe it was 6 months, she was gone. She no longer had insurance. The child did, she didn't. Now they have extended it to, in some states, not even all states, to 12 months postpartum. So can you imagine, like, having a traumatic birth, not having health insurance before, having it during birth, and then 6 months after you give birth, you still had this traumatic experience. And whether you had and I want to say, because I think childbirth in itself is a traumatic experience. Like, because again, there's too many people that don't make it out alive.
For both mom and baby, because now you're talking a baby has to be born. So we have no idea what the trauma they gone through. Not to mention, if you have to use any type of instrument, a forceps, even having to go through a C-section. That's traumatic enough, and sometimes women have, gone through so much, and a lot of times things got triggered during childbirth. That is not even addressed.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's what I love what you do, and anytime you call me, I'm going to be there. Because we do have to get the word out that it's okay to get help, that this period is just as important as the conceiving of the baby. It's just as important, like you said, as the gender reveal party and the baby shower, if not more. Like this, we really do have to bring our village back. And if part of our village is someone that is knowledgeable and feel she gets paid for it, then so be it. Right. But we have to create this support system some type of way.
Right. Yeah. I am all for that, because I know for sure that the only way that we are going to be able to have a dent or make a dent in the maternal mortality rate is to have more people going out to helping these moms, more education, more resources, right? And if doulas and people, I'm not going to say women, because men are also, in this field. If birth workers are not able to make a sustainable living, it's going to be too much of a high turnover, and we're not going to be able to make a dent in this field. Right? Because it is such a passion-led field. We're in there because we're passionate, but how can we make this sustainable?
Yeah.
And that is the reason why I created the program. I created the membership program. I created my newborn care, specialist training and postpartum education training, because for you to ask for what it's worth, you have to bring the value. And the value is the education. You have to know how to address this situation. You have to know what to look for. You have to know the signs. If a mom is having issue with breastfeeding, who are you going to refer her to? You're not supposed to tell her, okay, just give the baby a bottle. No, that's not educating. You have to find the proper resource, especially if mom decide that she wants to breastfeed. You need to know who to refer her to. If that baby is having tongue tie, we're not medical, but having the experience, having the knowledge, you will know exactly who to refer that mom to. So whatever resource you need, as a doula, you're there for educational support, physical support, and emotional support. So I'm definitely all for that. But at the same time, even though I'm pushing for support for moms, I'm pushing support for the caregivers. Because without the caregivers, without us having that sustainable income, without us having that knowledge and resource, we're not going to be able to help the parents the way we're supposed to.
Absolutely. I'm glad you say that, because that's a kind of going back to that, like that teacher thing in education, because I'm a former educator. So that's the reason why we're seeing all of what we're seeing, like how they say, oh, education at work, schools didn't work. You're not paying these people enough to deal with this.
Exactly.
So it's like people have to have a livable wage.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's just really unfortunate how we put profit over people. And again, all of what we're seeing as far as people not getting the care that they need because they can't afford it, women not taking the time off of work after they deliver a baby, whether traumatic or not, because they can't afford to. Like,
Mm-hmm.
it's such a vicious cycle that we're in. And it's so unfortunate. Even some fathers that want to take paternity leave, they don't have it.
Mm-hmm.
Not all jobs even give that, or if they do, it's like 2 weeks.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So like, the luxury is just not there. Even though we say we're, there's certain political parties say they're the political party of family values, but I'm like, you're not really supporting the full family.
No.
Because if you were, you would be paying people a livable wage.
Mm-hmm.
There shouldn't be as much pushback to raise the minimum wage level. I just saw Waffle House finally raised their minimum wage from $2.95 to $5.25.
Exactly.
My sister made $5.25 when she was 16 years old, and that was 20 years ago.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So we're still there. And so I'm like, when you think about these Waffle House workers, they're having children now and have to raise a child off of $5.25, and hopefully they get this. Like, that's,
yeah.
You know what I mean? And then if the workers have to come in, they shouldn't have to do things out of the goodness of their heart. Teachers shouldn't have to do things out of the goodness of their heart. They should get paid also a livable wage for being a skilled worker, for coming in to help these moms, coming in to helping your children, help you stay out of the hospital, stay healthy.
Yep.
It's a vicious cycle.
It is. It is. And I'm glad you touched on, on the paternity leave and fathers, because men do face postpartum depression. I've seen it. Mm-hmm. I cannot tell you how many men actually cry on my shoulder going through all the different emotions. Because if you think about it, sometimes this child that they're bringing in is the first baby in their family. They have never had experience with caring for a child. Then on top of that, no, they don't have their partner the way they normally do, because now she has to care for this newborn, right? Her body change, her confidence change, her self-image. She's going through her own emotion. So how do he step in now and to be able to be the man, be the dad, and still be the support for his partner? With all these emotions, no, he has to leave them in whatever situation, whatever condition that he have to leave, and he have to go to work. Right? Mm-hmm. So now we have this ripple effect. He's at work now, when somebody says something, hey, who knows? He might just pop off, because all this emotion that is going on. And then, and then as a man, how do he don't even want to talk about it, because he don't know who to talk to. Then he may call his own boy. What his own boy gonna tell him? Man, just come hang out. Then what does that leave to? No, you leave, the mom at home to struggle with the baby, and you hanging out because you need a break.
Yeah, the other part to that is, just to throw this in there, a lot of times we also have to deal with the fact that we're perceived in a certain way. We have to be that strong, stand-up individual. Mm-hmm. And this is our child. This is someone we help bring into the world. A lot of men, once that happens, everything up here changes. Your thought process changes. The emotions that you may have been able to suppress, they're going to be there now, because now not only are you worrying about your wife, who, just like you guys said, went through this traumatic experience, now you've got this little person that can do absolutely nothing for themselves
but cry and eat
and drive you insane by eating everything in your house, but you're responsible for them. And if you're a real father, you're like, okay, now I got to do all of this and keep the job and not slap the next person that gets on my nerves.
Yeah, it's hard. It is really, really hard. And that's the reason why I strongly push for, mental health therapists. I'm all for that. Find someone to talk to, find someone who's going to listen to you, that you're not going to feel judged. And you're going to know for sure that whatever you say is going to be left right here, and you're going to get the support that you need, so you can take it back to your family and know how to better handle the situation. Because things can get blown out of, get blown up real, real fast, especially if you don't know how to handle it. You know, like you said, Darren, you know, you're taught how to be a man and man up and, you know, be strong. But you're still, at the end of the day, you're still a human being, and you still have emotions and you have feelings.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
again, a lot of times we're taught to, and a lot of men, even real fathers, they understand that the emotions are there, but we still have to struggle with, I got to keep it under control.
Yeah,
I gotta
but it
keep
shouldn't
this
be
down.
like that,
And
you know.
especially in the black community, where a black man is perceived a whole lot different
Yes,
than
you're
men
not
in other
supposed to
cultures.
cry. You're not supposed to talk. You're not supposed to feel.
Yeah.
You know, man up.
We're always
know?
perceived as the most dangerous, and
Yeah.
this, that, and the third. So we got all of that we got to contend with. So yeah, it can be hard for us.
Yeah. And, you know, like I said, Dr. Michele, thank you so much. I appreciate what you're doing for us in our community. And, you know, I'm just going to, you know, stick by you side by side, because you know, that's the only way that we're going to make a dent, by, you know,
Absolutely.
you know, physically serving, you know, and education. We have to spread we have to spread the word. We have to spread the word. Okay. So thank you so much. I appreciate it. And guys, if you are interested in, you know, hearing more about Dr. Michele, can you tell us where they can find you? Because I know you also work with small business. Because again, you know, data is so important. Without data, we can't do anything. In our business, we have to make sure we have those numbers so we can know what's working and what's not working, so we can, you know, make changes. So can you, you know, tell the audience how they can find you and how they can work with you?
Absolutely. So you can find me on all social media at Mogul Beginnings. That's Mogul, Mogul Beginnings. Have a data consulting company. You can literally look me up on Instagram, Facebook, and I can reach back out to you. Or you can go to my website, mogulbeginnings.com, and you can reach out to me there. So either way, we can talk. It's complimentary, and we'll see how we can help you.
Thank you so much. You know, like I said, no, we really appreciate you. And for us, you know, we are willing and ready to mentor, you know, people within the birthing and the community health industry. And you can find me on IG as the Seven Figure Doula Whisperer. We're going to be dropping our link in the page for our membership. I'm also offering a free resource guide to everyone who is on here. Most of it is local to Atlanta. So if you are in other state and you know someone in Atlanta that you can share it with, please sign up for it, and you know, just share it. It has a lot of different birthing professional in here: lactation consultant, labor doulas, you know, pediatrician, OBGYN, because I just want to make sure that you have everything at your tip of your finger that's needed. I will be creating one more, you know, robust, where it can be used for anywhere. But for right now, because I'm in Atlanta, it is for Atlantans. So, or Georgia, you know, a big part of Georgia. So please sign up for it and share it. And, you know, as I go along, I'll be sharing other resources that I have that we can help within our communities. And guys, I know we all talk about maternal health and mental health, but let's start putting our money where our mouth is. How can we partner together to share this knowledge and share this information? You know, by sponsoring for someone, paying for someone to get mentorship, paying someone to be a part of our, you know, of our community, and even part of our training. So we're gonna be dropping it in the link in the comments. So if you so led to sponsor someone so they can go back into the community and give back into the community, churches, you know, schools, whoever you are, if you're led to help it, please let us know. We will be happy to partner with you. So guys, until next week, thank you so much for listening. Please give us your feedback. Let us know what you'd like for us to talk about, and I'll be more than happy to bring, you know, someone else along with me. If it's not my lane, I like staying in my lane. You know, so I always like, you know, bringing on other experts who can, you know, talk more about, you know, things that I'm not privy to talk about, or it's not my lane. So until next time, guys, see you. I'll be on next week, and I appreciate you guys. I love you guys. See you next week.